Hi everybody, it's John Huber, UJ.Adventures. I am with my good friend Raul, who owns Tarpon Town Anglers. Been my good buddy for over 20 years now, and I got lucky and got to spend a week with my gal down here, and Raul hosted us graciously. And so we just want to take a few minutes and chat with Raul about Tarpon Town, Campeche, one of the greatest fisheries in the world. So let's just dive right in, Raul. How did Tarpon Town, your company, come to be?
Well, Tarpon Town started back in the dream started pretty earlier, like in the 90s, but in 2023, I started business for general touring, kayak touring, and a little bit of fishing, but without much of the knowledge. 2003.
2003.
2003,
Gotcha.
yeah. And without much of the knowledge of fly fishing, but a lot of spinning has been on my whole life. Spinning and hand lining, by the way.
Yeah.
The native technique here was hand lining. And I was working. I have a background on computing science, and I was working as an IT manager for a manufacturing company, an American company stated here, and I ended up. I've been asking by one of the vice presidents of the company if there was any fishing around here. He said, "Yeah, that's what I do for fun, and I do some kayak tours." So I ended up taking him fishing, and he said, "Well, I love you in my company, but I think you have future somewhere else," and that changed the whole story. I ended up researching about tarpon fishing, and I met people in the industry like you, and you guys gave us a great push since the very beginning.
So if I remember correctly, you started with kayaks?
Yeah.
And then traded those in for panga?
Small pangas, 16-foot pangas,
Smaller pangas.
with 30 and 40 horsepower, 2 strokes.
And then traded that in for yet bigger pangas?
Bigger pangas with bigger engines, and
Okay.
then now we ended up with 23-foot pangas and 75, 90 horsepower with 4 strokes engine.
And one of the rare things that I have to say about this operation that I think you should be super proud of is that the guides, Juan and Fernando especially, have been with you from day one, yeah?
Definitely, yes. We have Fernando and Juan as part of the founders of the company. The three of us are the founders of the company.
So well over 20 years as
Yes,
a group.
almost 21.
And I've been to a lot of lodges all over the world, and guides are kind of fleeting and come and go.
Yeah.
But these guys have stuck with the business like glue.
Yes, and Roberto was kind of at the last edition, but he's relative to Fernando. He's his nephew, so it's all family that working for us.
Okay. And so currently, Tarpon Town Anglers is operating a lodge here in Campeche, Mexico. If you're not familiar, Campeche is a state in the Yucatan, as well as the name of a city that you're operating out of.
The capital city has the name of the state. They share the name of Campeche.
Gotcha. So with that, Raul has been able to build quite the following. It's a baby tarpon fishery, the occasional snook here and there, but fly fishing, and really amazing fly fishing. So you're catching baby tarpon from 5 pounds to 50 pounds.
The record we have here, it's a 65-pound tarpon. It was caught by a 13-year-old kid, Maya.
Of course.
Maya Hegg. Maya was on her first fly fishing trip for tarpon ever.
Oh, wow.
And on the day 1, she caught the first one. It was a average 8-pound tarpon.
Yeah.
And on the day 2, she caught a 65-pound tarpon.
Wow.
So that was her second fish ever on a fire rod. So
Wow.
she wants to come back,
That's
obviously.
impressive. Well, we all, if you fly fish, everybody knows beginner's luck runs rampant in our sport. Beginners always seem to excel at fly fishing and always catch great fish. And with that said, I'm here with my gal Renee, and Renee had never tarpon fished in her life, has done a fair amount of trout fishing, but not a ton. We started with double hauling out in the snow in front of our house for the last few months.
Quite different, huh?
Very different, very different. The lines were definitely curly and stiff and didn't respond well. But she went out at least 2 or 3 days a week and just kept working on double hauling, not to perfection, but got a feel for it. So really cool experience for us this week. Renee started with jumping fish and leadering one fish the first day. She got 2 fish the second day. She got 4 fish the third day.
You're talking about landed fish.
Landed
Okay.
fish, yep. And then obviously jumping lots of other fish in between the landed fish. And then the 4th day, we threw poppers all day and literally lost count of how many fish we hooked and jumped and landed, and we were just laughing and having a ball all day. And then today, our last day, day 5, she was hooking fish with poppers, fighting them, leadering and landing them, and releasing them all by herself with no help. So this very
So
quick
cool.
progression, which speaks volumes to your guide's ability here to teach and to be calm and patient.
And even with the lack of language, because they have been a little hard on learning the language,
Sure,
but
sure.
they speak the international language of fishing. You know, it's just, it's just. I always say, especially for first-time visitors, I tell them, hey, this is like a digital camera.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna see the fish. He's gonna point and you're gonna shoot. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's just very visual. It's easy. You know,
Yeah.
could be easy. Could be sometimes not
Sure.
that easy. But yeah, it's a game for everyone. Not I mean for every kind of a skill levels.
Yeah. So, on top of just the tarpon fishery itself, you're fishing. Am I correct to say these are the largest turtle grass flats in the world?
No, these are the second one.
Second largest,
largest
okay.
seagrass banks. So,
Seagrass bank.
yeah, and obviously the first one is the Keys in Florida.
Okay.
And I think the third ones are in terms of extension of size in Cienega Zapata in Cuba.
Okay. Okay. So it's a wild place. It's amazing because you're in this city of maybe 300,000 people, and you have these massive turtle grass flats everywhere, and this mangrove shoreline that has river after river after river after river. Then you can go up and fish, and so there's multiple types of fisheries within the one area. You can fish on the outside, way outside, correct? For some bigger fish. You can come in, fish maybe a little more medium-sized fish closer to the mangroves.
Correct.
And then you can go into the back country and the rivers
For the smaller
for the
fish.
smaller fish. So you always have something to fall back on. We had a cold front here last week, so most of the fishing we've done with the wind and everything has been more in the back country and rivers, which has been perfect because for Renee, her learning curve, it was great for her to start out with a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, especially for beginners. I mean, the casting range is what you deal with, right?
Yeah.
For the learning curve, the closer the cast, the easier
Yes.
the fishing. So that mangrove shore, that's the perfect environment for that.
Yeah, so we were catching a ton of fish inside of 40 feet. Lots of fish in the 25 to 30 foot range of casting that we were hooking and jumping, and I can't tell you how fun this is. If you've never tarpon fished, if you've never baby tarpon fished, baby tarpon were built for fly rods.
Definitely.
They are.
Well, my wife would have another
Yeah.
story. Right?
Fair
She's
enough.
great, and my kid is great with the light tackle thing. They're so amazing with light,
Yeah.
an 8 of an ounce jig heads and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's great for fly fishing.
And that's an option for people
Yeah.
too. You don't have to be exclusively fly fishing
No.
here. If you have a loved one that just loves the outdoors and maybe they're just not gung-ho about fly fishing like some of us, you can still just come here with a spin rod, and the guides will still put you on fish, and you're going to have a great time and catch a ton of fish and see a lot. And seeing a lot is kind of one of the awesome things here. There's Mayan ruins. There's Mayan ruins outside of town. There's Mayan ruins. We've out in the mangroves. You'll see stuff today. We went by a spot, and our guide Fernando said that's a Mayan cemetery right back there in the mangroves. Like, whoa.
Well, as you know,
Amazing.
this area, this is very rich in culture because of the Mayan influence, right? We were conquered in the 15th century, right?
Yeah.
But there's still so much to see about it. The island of Jaina, it's a Mayan cemetery. It's a burial place, and there's a couple of structures there. It's not open to public, but I can tell you a story. And we can circle around the island, and there's another island that it also was, and we know by the the comments of the locals in the past. They used to see stuff there.
Yeah.
There were some tombs, and there were some even some figures. They found some figures which maybe are in the black market right now. I don't know. But and if you come to the city, well, we have the pirates history, the colonial face of this town. It's it's very well seen on the architecture of the city. Right?
Yeah. So when the Spanish were here back in the day, they were bringing their gold to Campeche before. This is where they would send all the gold to be collected before it went back to Spain, right?
Maybe you know a little bit more story about it.
Yeah. So I know there was enough riches here from the Spanish that the pirates wanted to attack.
Yeah.
And
in that time, some of the nature resources were also part of the wealth and the trophies that they took back to. There's one back to the crown in Spain. One of the things that I know they used to trade here was the tint 3. The tint 3, it looks very much like a mangrove tree, but it's more solid. It's hardwood, and if you cut it in half, you peel the bark off and you cut that tree in half, it's red in the middle, and that's where they get the tint, ink out of that. There's a process of boiling and stuff, but it was part of the it was used in the past time to tint fabrics, dye fabrics and stuff, and it was part of the treasure of this town.
Yeah, so a lot of riches came through here. So because of that, with the pirates wanting their cut, they decided the Spanish started building a fort and we basically walled the city in.
Yes, it's a wall. It used to be a walled city. They tore part of it down, but nowadays we have two big remains. The south and north sides are still up, and they're pretty well kept now.
So the sea gate on the
main entrance from the water was sea gate. The water used to hit that gate. Yeah. All that you see further, about 300 yards from there to the water, it's all field land. It's new land. And to the south we have the land gate, and those two gates are connected. They're lined up on what's called right now 59th Street, which is the touristic pedestrian street where all the restaurants, bars, and souvenir shops are for the tourists.
So the land gate is where Renee and I were yesterday, and then the 59th Street is where we've been going in the evenings. Not every evening, but most evenings it's closed to traffic, and you can walk down. And there's artisan shops and amazing restaurants. Campeche has really grown up, and the food options here are spectacular. If you're a foodie, you should come to Campeche, even if you don't want to fish.
Hey, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, you and me both. So we've taken great advantage of the flavors of Campeche this week, and just had a wonderful time eating out. And we've never eaten in the same place twice, and we've had everything from sit-down dinners with linen to last night we went to the local taco stand for just some local flavor, and my gosh, it was so incredible. I haven't had a bad thing here yet. It's just awesome, and it's everything: seafood and beef and pork and chicken and you name it, whatever it is that you really love, you can find it here. And you get kind of a crossover between like a Mayan influence, a Spanish influence, a Mexican influence, and all these flavors.
And there's some chefs that have come around, and they have done great mixtures with local spices and international food, or they had adapted some regional or local food to international ingredients. So they had made these fusions. So we have a good variety of options here.
Okay. So I've been here many times with groups of my fly fishing pals and
your family too.
And my family, both my parents have been down here, and it's fun because you can have that experience with your friends that are your hardcore fly fishing friends, and you guys can go out and fish and come back and sit in the pool and drink beer and lie to each other about all the fishing and who caught the biggest, who caught the most, and it's super fun in that regard. But you can also come with your significant other. It's a very romantic city. The cathedral, my gosh. The cathedral here in the main plaza is one of the most beautiful structures I've ever seen in my life.
And I don't know if you saw the church right on 59 and 12. You have the gold leaf altar, which it was a restoring process of 3 or 4 years by hand. They discovered layer after layer of paint that was covering the gold leaf till they open it all out.
Yeah. So I really can't recommend Campeche enough for people that they want to fish, they want culture, they want romance, they want food. I mean, this place is safe. It is incredible. The people are very friendly. You can walk everywhere. At the same time, it's not this like crazy nightlife. This is not Cabo or Cancun. The town goes to sleep very early, which is great because you want to get up in the morning and fish. But the amount of things to do, going to Etzna, which is a massive pyramid and collection of Mayan sites and fields, and
45-minute ride from here.
45 minutes. One of my favorite experiences here was trying to get there right when they open to go into Etzna, and there's nobody else there. And you can walk into this Mayan plaza with these massive pyramids.
It still is pretty, secluded for a few people.
Yeah. It's just amazing. So there's just a ton to do here. The fishing is off the charts good most of the time. I mean, it's fishing, so highs and lows, but really incredible. And what you've done here to support your city and show off your city to the rest of the world is, kudos to you.
Thanks so much.
That's incredible what you've pulled off here. So if you want to come down to Campeche, please look up Raul Tarpon Town Anglers. He will get you set up with the best guides, the most patient guides. You can be a professional angler and come and catch a bunch of fish and laugh and have a great time. You can be a beginner angler and get put through your paces and learn without anybody barking at you or being rough with you. You can count on kindness and patience with the guides, and if you got questions, Raul can obviously help you with that, help you with fly selection and rod selection, and it's mostly 8s and 9 weights and floating lines, so it's not like you don't need a ton of gear to come down here. If you have a steelhead rod or just a big trout rod, you can get it done down here.
Just a regular 8, 9, 10 weight rods, floating lines, regular leaders. We have plenty of things. If people don't bring whatever they need, we rig them up here, so we have a backup always for something.
Yeah, and you're always welcome to get in touch with me, and I'll point you in the right direction as far as gear and flies and stuff too,
right,
and help you get down here.
The website has a lot of information about that.
And the website is?
tarpontown.com.
tarpontown.com. It's that simple. And you got pricing on there?
We got everything. We got pricing. We got about the lodge. I was telling you before that about the lodge. The lodge is our family house where I grew up. It's just the patrimony of the family, And we, after my parents passed away, I decided to build it, rebuild it like a lodge. And we have enough room for 6 people. Parties up to 6 people, 6 anglers, sharing a room, and we have 3 rooms with 3 bathrooms. And we have a pool. We have all amenities like Wi-Fi, air conditioning on each room, silent mini splits, and especially that we're located right in the heart of the downtown area. So one block for everywhere.
Everything's walking distance from where we're sitting right now. And right now we're just sitting in the center courtyard of the lodge, Raul's old family home that's been converted. And the location you cannot beat. You can fly into Merida.
Merida has flights from Miami, Houston, and Dallas.
There you go.
From the States.
So American Airlines.
American Airlines flies Dallas and Miami.
Yep.
And United from Houston.
Okay. So easy to get down here, and Raul will set up shuttles for you to get you from Merida to here. And then if you really want to, you can go through Mexico City.
People sometimes fly. Yeah, they fly to Mexico City. As long as you don't have to change terminals in Mexico City.
Gotcha.
You can come here. We have an airport here. Airport code is CPE. And also for some private flights, we've got some people flying privately, and they can fly directly into Campeche.
Yeah. Awesome. So I encourage you all to come down here. Watch the footage from our week here with myself, who I've been a lifetime fly fisherman, fishing with my partner Renee.
She fished out of it.
They call her the maestra now. She's yes.
Sorry, bro. I had to
That's
tell that.
That's okay. She's earned it. That's for sure. She's earned bragging rights. I couldn't be more proud of her, and I couldn't be more proud of the guides in your operation. And I just can't say how happy I am to be here, and I can't wait to get back. So Raul, thank you so much.
Amigo.
You're an absolute prince, a gentleman's gentleman. this is your guy. If you ever just want to break into saltwater fishing, if you've never been bone fishing, permit, tarpon, this is a great place to cut your teeth. And like I said before, if you're a professional angler like myself and have been doing this your whole life, you will go out there and laugh and have a ball all day long.
It's just to have the experience.
It's a
not,
great
It's not only
experience.
fishing. It's all the experience of coming here,
Yes.
staying at the lodge, visiting Campeche, obviously, which is
Yes.
a very remarkable thing,
Yep.
and go to catch some tarpon.
Absolutely.
That's what you really
Yeah,
want to.
and I encourage everybody, like even if you're here 5 days, not uncommon for me to take the third or fourth day off and go to the Mayan ruins and go to the museums and the old forts and just check out all the cool history and everything else. So, I mean, we could talk for hours and hours and hours about Campeche, but I hope you'll just watch our videos and get in touch with Raul and get your buns down here and go fly fishing and enjoy one of the greatest cities in Mexico, if not the greatest city in Mexico. So, thanks again, brother.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Thanks a lot.